Okay, Erica, I've got you up and ready. Okay, so spelling, try to cut up my sketches and group them all together. I tend to sketch anywhere and everyone on a page. I think I do that too. I think, and it's okay to do that because the idea with sketching is just to get your ideas on page as fast as you can before they kind of leave your mind. And I've just, if you've been looking at some of the videos, I'm commenting that quite a bit. I think it's so important for students to understand that sketching is superior to going straight to the computer. And the reason being is because the computer just can't keep up with your mind. When you have pencil in hand, paper in front of you, you're transposing your thoughts directly onto the paper, pure, unedited, pure onto the paper. So it's just a really good representation of your ideas, something that you can get onto your paper quick. So then you can go back later, look at it, and kind of, evaluate from there and kind of, go from there. Start making your improvements from there. Once you get your ideas down, then you can start improvising. Do you know what I'm saying? So great idea with your sketches, and it's okay. It's okay. Your sketchbook. You should see my sketchbook. I mean, it's kind of fun to look at, but there's just stuff everywhere. So I get what you're saying here. Okay, I wanted to focus on a main logo for the mountains. They're such iconic silhouette, and with everything else in the area, I wanted to draw attention to the beauty and grace of it all. And I get that. One of the things I'm really impressed with is the fact that you're going straight to abstract, and that is so smart. I mean, you know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you something, Erica. A lot of students are just going to say, okay, mountains. Well, I'm going to draw some mountains. And that's going to be my logo. And you have not done that. You've done this abstract approach. That is so smart because what do we want to see? Do we want to see, and I've said this before, 10 out of, or, 99 out of 100 designers, when you student designers who say, okay, give me a logo for an area that's got mountains, and they're going to draw mountains. And that 1 out of 100 is going to go abstract like this, where they're not really mountains. They're more interesting marks, but they represent mountains. And like this. Yes, that's not a drawn mountain. That's an abstract representation of a mountain, and that is smart. So I'm really impressed with your sketches. I think another thing that I think is very, very smart is the fact that you've developed these pictograms based on the specific logo. And again, really smart decision. Why? Because you're continuing the visual language you've started with the logo, and you're just continuing it through to the pictogram. So that makes for cohesive design. It makes for harmony in the presentation. So that's smart. Now you've got your flag idea. I think that's got huge potential. You've got your mountains idea, 2 mountains idea. That's got huge potential. But I don't see many more ideas in terms of your logo development. I would like to see a lot more sketches. I really would. I'd like you to see. I'd like to see many, many sketches. I said 6 pages in the introduction video, and I mean, if you feel you've got enough here, by all means, move forward. But I think that you're going to start finding some really interesting stuff. Personally, honestly, I think that this has potential. I think this has potential. I think this has potential. It's a matter of working it out, and that might just happen through more sketching. Okay, so at this point, I have mentioned this again to other students, is that I'm not the kind of instructor that's going to say, okay, let's take this and use red here and use blue here and use the Olympic sign here and use the colors here. I'm more want you to just let my thoughts resonate a little with you and let them make sense. Think about my comments for a minute or two and let them sink in and let them make sense, and then continue on in the direction that you feel has the most potential. And I think that's a lot more effective than for me to say, okay, take this and put this color here and put this type here. I don't want to do that. I don't want to play art director here. I want you to be your own director here because I want to see your ideas develop. Okay, so those would be my recommendations. I'd like to see some more sketches. I definitely would. By the way, great presentation. Thank you so much for not just throwing sketches at us. A lot of students just say, okay, here's a bunch of sketches and here, have at it. But it just doesn't work like that. This is design. I mean, you have to show your intent. You have to kind of give the viewer an idea of what you're thinking. Otherwise, just looking at sketches doesn't make any sense. Any art director you're going to have in a future job, any creative director is going to expect a presentation with some descriptions and some written rationale behind it as well. So good practice, good job. I love what you're doing. Very smart. Okay, any questions, comments, concerns at all, please let me know. Thanks, Erica.